What are we here to discuss? I'm going to quickly give you the large topics that we are trying to cover today. First, we will try to set the context of what is conversational AI, why is there a hype about it. The topic itself says we're going to talk about revenue generation. So before we will take a step back to understand how is the shopping behavior changing and how people are shopping differently. What are the characteristics that have changed? And we will quickly give you a highlight about what our expertise are and how we reimagine revenue channels through conversational AI. And we will also show you how it is done in the end. Okay, now let's begin with what is conversational AI? Conversational AI is basically the application of modern technologies that use language as an interface, whether it is in mode of voice or text. Now, gone are the days where there is point and click as an interface, graphical user interface, the touch interface. All these interfaces are gone. Today, language is the interface that is evolving fast and it is growing exponentially. So, what does CI mean? Any application that uses technology and uses language as an interface to create personalized experiences and which is able to scale and build operational efficiencies. That is what encapsulates conversational AI. Or, in other words, today the devices, systems, computers are getting extremely better at understanding the language we speak, the language in which we converse with each other. That is something the machines are able to understand today. That is a change that is happening on the tech side. So we strongly believe very soon we will see text and voice will be the primary ways, just not one of it, but the primary way in which services are provided or consumed. Commerce will start happening only through text and voice in primary matter with machines. So I think that is the fundamental pivotal point in technology we see. So language becoming the new interface. So we strongly believe there are some interesting possibilities ahead. Humans, as such, we love to talk and nudge. We love to converse. We love to express ourselves through words. So we'll be able to soon have engaging and informed conversations, not just with pure humans, but also with machines. And this will have a profound impact in the way how commerce happens across the world, just not through existing channels, having a point and click and trying to talk to a static screen or anything of that sort. We'll be able to converse like how we converse with humans. Okay, now that we've tried to establish what conversational AI is, let's try to understand why is there a hype around it today. I would like to categorize this why. To answer this why, I would like to cover three different aspects, three different drivers. I put it into three buckets. Let's call it the behavioral driver, technology driver, and the customer expectations. Let's go one by one. What are the changes in behavioral drivers? I mean, you see, fundamentally, humans love to talk and nudge. I had mentioned this earlier too. Okay, we as humans love to converse, love to express ourselves in words. And this is this is reflected in messaging being the number one digital activity on the planet today. Today, any digital activity that you take, the number one, the high volume activity is just messaging. That means language must be the backbone of all the user experiences that we try to give to our customers. Users are comfortable today and they prefer chatting in a virtual medium. Earlier, probably they would have loved to express through words or by speaking to a pure human, but today they're comfortable chatting on a virtual medium. So let's try to see what the premise I've established. I'll try to give you some stats to corroborate this. Voice search is growing exponentially across demographics. Some interesting stats here. 71% of the consumers conduct the queries on voice instead of typing. 40% of the US population use voice search. That is a huge number. The entire population, 40% is already using voice search. Look at the adoption. 51% of online shoppers use voice to research about the product. And 72% of US consumers use voice search through a digital assistant. Okay, that is also a key thing. And none of this only is limited to a single language. Today, it is so, it is the regional language support are increasing, on a daily basis, that be it Spanish, French, or any other language, they are able to support, the technology is able to support, through conversational AI. Now, let's look at the second bucket. What are the technology drivers building the hype for CAI? Okay. The underlying technology for all of this is called natural language, understanding, or natural language programming, NLP and AI. This has reached an inflection point where the maturity and affordability is there. Earlier, all of these technologies probably were limited to the big companies, the Fortune 500 companies. Today, thanks to the launch of Alexa, OK Google, and whatnot, today this has become an affordable technology for people, and this has resulted from people moving from a mobile first economy to an AI first economy, a mobile first user to an AI first user. So this has impacted the way people have started consuming services, and the exponential growth of smartphones, social media platforms, and people tend to thrive on mobile moments. Okay, we try to always be on the go, and we live on the go. And there is less friction in communication. Earlier, it was just about text or probably, trying to set a small thing. Today, we are able to enrich our messaging through documents, pictures, voice, video, and whatnot. So technology has grown at such a level and it's reached an inflection point, as I said, and this is helping adoption of conversational AI as well. Now, I get this question quite often amongst my customers. Okay, all that is fine. So how good is accuracy? Here is a stat to tell you. Microsoft hits a speech rate of, a milestone of speech error rate of only 5.1%. This is extremely close to the human comprehension level. There are times where even humans have more error rate. Microsoft has already shown that it is possible to reach something as close as human comprehension level. So there's no problem with accuracy. Now, what has this led to? It has given an evolution of new omni-channels, new channels of communicating with our customers, new channels to interact with the world outside, the new channels in which we do business. It has evolved to, the kind of channels which I have shown on the right side, be it WhatsApp, be it voice, be it Teams, be it WeChat, whatever it might be. All of these new channels have become new modes in which we can do business with our customers. The third bucket in why there is hype being built about CAI. The customer expectations are changing. It is evolving and demanding by the day. Today, even the customer, for want of attention, they try to structure their life into micro tasks. They want to do multiple independent tasks in a short span. Hey, I want to pay my bill. I want to take a book a flight ticket. I'm hungry. Can we order a pizza? I have to share it. I have to transfer about $12 to John. Hey, I forgot to pay my premium for my car insurance. These are all micro tasks that they want to accomplish independently. And their attention span is narrowing by the day, that they need momentary information needs. We call ourselves today probably the Google generation or online search generation or Bing generation. Here, our intent is we need to get access to information right now. We don't want to go open a website, do a login, do a certain click, and then access information. They need momentary information. When is my premium due? What is my account balance? And the need is so evolved today that customers expect hyper personalization with any brand that they do commerce with. They want personalized experiences for their needs, and it should be reflecting of what they are and who they are. And customers are no longer dependent on others to do to set up stuff. They are come to this do it yourself mindset. They are happy to embrace self service. This is something that is reflecting in the customers behavior today. All of these things has helped CI revolution to arrive. Okay, I've quickly shown you an infographic here on how the thing has changed over time. Originally, the need was to access information over the internet. So we had the web interface, we had e-commerce, and we had probably the desktop or probably the laptop as channels to communicate. Then the importance and need was towards mobility and availability and access everywhere. So we started going into the app interface, responsive web interface, APIs, and whatnot. The channels were, probably an iPad, probably a phone, a mobile phone, a smartphone. But today, the need is more around immediacy. No, it is more about understanding intent and context and personalization. Now, for this generation, the technologies that we need are basically natural language understanding, AI, conversational, and the devices that we use have changed. We look at smart speakers, we look at conversational AI solutions for meeting these needs. So again, this is something I get as a question often. So okay, now are you talking about a chatbot? This is what I get questioned by my clients too when I talk to them. See, this is something which Gartner has published, and which is why I'm using this grid. See, a chatbot is simply using a decision tree and trying to give you a question based on a simple set of questions. Now, it gets more and more sophisticated when you start understanding context and intent. The moment a bot able to understand a context and intent, it starts becoming a conversational AI virtual assistant. So the sophistication is much towards the right side of the graph, is what I'm trying to explain in the next hour or so, which we are going to talk about.